Hey everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for joining in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. And hopefully you're ready for October soon and the changing of the seasons. And everyone should be considering checking their go bags and changing them out for seasonal wear and equipment and so forth based on where you are and the seasons that you may have ahead, whether it's moderate temperatures, cooler, freezing, snow, blizzards, storms, and so forth. So prep your bags and prep your vehicles. When we talk about preparedness, it covers many facets. Most people focus on food, water, shelter, security, communications, and medicinal. They don't give a lot of thought to three of the most important areas, which is the individual self and your physical, spiritual, and psychological health and well-being. One of the other areas that we covered early on at Hope for Survival back in 2020 when we started our Thursday night Zoom series is we focused a lot on leadership, the Constitution, the importance of knowing your sheriff, and things of that nature. And those are really, really important areas in preparedness, especially when you start putting together your mag and you're building your 5-mile radius. There's an area that has laid on my heart, and I've spoken to a few folks on this topic offline, and a lot of folks are focusing on what they believe are potential threats when there's absolute threats that has been happening in our country for some time now, and it's the fiber and foundation of America, the American culture, our political system, getting away from the Constitution, our youth, and so forth. So something that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing a YouTube series coming up once I meet with individuals that I've contacted a couple, and I'll be contacting a few more to do one-on-one interviews on topics of importance, and it deals with are you a truth seeker? We all watch news and we see things going on, and we have opinions and feelings on it, oftentimes concluding with the blame on certain entities of what's causing the problem. But in many cases, other than telling your friends, most people are zip-lipped behind closed doors. And you have to ask the question. It's not questioning you as a person, whether you're a good person or a bad person, but it's what are you made of? What are your moral fibers that makes you the person that you are? And are you the person that you want to be? And in the Truth Seeker series, I'm going to be interviewing truth speakers to cover a series of topics that I believe is really important. And some of those topics are the individual self, what do you stand for, and how is your faith walk? What is your personal relationship with Jesus Christ? Second is getting involved in your community. Do you constantly watch things happening in your community and you get upset about it, but you're doing nothing about it? Okay? and we're going to talk about ways to get involved in your community, which feeds into your 5-mile radius as well. But this is about getting involved in your community. And we've talked numerous times, had guests on Thursday night Zoom, talking on getting involved in your local level politics, your community, what's happening. Another area that we're going to talk about is mentoring youth. I mentioned in the last video how a conversation with a pastor several years ago had stuck with me, and I commented on the video about how his advice was they just want you to listen to them. So one of the true speakers is going to be talking about how to get involved, communicate with, and mentor youth, to understand them better and getting them involved and speaking out. Another area is we're going to talk about from an interview with a true speaker on truth seeking and truth speaking on things that are happening at the federal level. Another area that we're going to talk about is with a true speaker is how all of these things play together, and while many are watching and waiting on wars and the results of wars and things that are happening, they're missing a very critical issue that's happening around our country, and it is the decimation of our what makes up our society. And we can agree and disagree on points. It is communicating and understanding and listening back and forth, and hopefully breaking down barriers that have existed in the past. And the reason I'm doing this series is hopefully if you listen to these videos, you can get something from them that will help you step outside your door and know how to communicate in these areas that I shared, so that you'll be willing to walk outside your door and with confidence speak to others on these topics, to understand one another and break down barriers. It is a critical issue that in order to resolve and smooth the path forward, that we have to work on. Many folks are still failing to realize that what is taking place in our country and around the world is good versus evil. It's the only possible answer of the demonic things that are taking place that create so much hatred of an individual or individuals and groups against others, that you would willingly go into an area where there's someone there speaking maybe who opposes what you view, and you're willing to commit acts of harm up to include death on another citizen because they differ in how you feel and how you think. So these are really important, I think very important points and topics and things that we all need to seriously consider. I know many folks, and oftentimes myself, see and hear things happening, and rage occurs in my heart until I step back and I ask myself what I'm made of, and include my faith in how I feel towards individuals who are causing so many issues and problems. And as hard as it may seem for many, this is not saying you're cowering down. This is not saying you're being soft. It's knowing how to confidently speak to issues and firmly hold your ground, not budge, but stand firm on your faith, your understanding of community and federal involvement politically, holding your elected officials accountable when they come home and speak to the districts, is already researching their voting record and what they're supporting. Organizations who are receiving money that are causing so many problems in our country. Oftentimes, the source is causing the problem is just the end of the spear, but there's large organizations who are funding millions of dollars out there into getting soft district attorneys, soft prosecutors, soft elected officials, and funding these hate groups that are going around causing so many problems. Part of this series as well is to help you build confidence. It's to not live in fear, okay? You don't need to live in fear, but you need to be prepared, not just with resources, but you need to be prepared with knowledge. Knowledge is power, okay? And sometimes you're going to have to take a pie or two in the face to get your point across, to break down that barrier of getting someone else to understand where they're seeing things wrong. Maybe from the faith perspective and also from another person's point of view, or maybe from a political perspective. So again, I think that these are super important points and a path forward. It's a very small piece that we can play, hopefully, in helping many seeds be planted to go forth to start working in your family, in your church, in your communities, and bringing down so much division and hatred towards other human beings. Okay? Again, it doesn't mean you're going to be soft. You're going to be firm, but you're going to have knowledge, and that knowledge is going to be your power. So these are things that's going to be upcoming, hopefully in the next 30 days. I'll start dropping some of these interviews, and hopefully you'll watch them. But in the meantime, ask yourself, are you a truth seeker? Are you a true speaker? What do you stand for? And what are you willing to do outside of your front door? So if you like this video, please hit like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please share with others so we can get others to watch this series to hopefully help them out as well. And most of all, don't forget to give thanks. We still have a lot to be thankful for. We do still live in the greatest nation on this earth. We just want to try to make it better. So be blessed, and Bravo Echo out.